Let's without further ado, let's get to it. I think we've got some special music to kick off this draft. Oh my god, I'm hyped. So, with every draft, the rules are the guest goes first in every round, Will goes second, Alex the producer goes last. So, Liban, your first pick, best favorite Raptors regular season moment from this season.
I feel like Masai drafted Scotty Barnes right now.
Oh.
Okay.
It's tough.
I'm not gonna count that as the moment, but for me, it's in terms of games. The best game of the year for me, the Raptors win in triple OT in Miami. It was the first time where, like,
No, it was so good. This guy disconnected, man.
Did he?
I got disconnected. Someone's calling me, man. I don't know why someone's calling me.
Okay, come on.
But it was the first time. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we got you.
Yeah, it was the first time. It was the first time. Like, I was like, okay, this team can actually compete in the playoffs, and it was a period where everyone was kind of healthy too, right? And you go to triple OT. OG was locking up Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and it was. And also, we're playing guys 50 minutes. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Nick Nurse was a menace during this stretch, but I think rightfully so, because when you look at what the core was doing and the bench, the bench wasn't really doing much, and you kind of want to see what the core looked like against potential playoff teams. And I think this was the most. I think StatMuse tweeted this was the most minutes in a game by players, with Pascal 57, OG 56. I'm getting sick hearing reading these numbers out, but like Gary 50, Scotty 56, like what the hell? And the bench was, when you think about it, they were non-existent, right?
Yep.
And then think about Scotty too, in that clutch.
Yep. 2 free throws to send it over OT.
2. Yep. Right. It's like a rookie doing that is like, to me, that was the game where he obviously had a lull period in terms of his rookie campaign, but amazing start to the season. And then I kind of thought this was kind of like what brought him back in the mix again. And then be able to do that. And then I think from there, the Raptors went on an 8-game win streak. And then key two with Scotty, people forget this. OG misses a 3. I think we were down 2, and then before Scotty was hit the 2 clutch free throws, he gets an offensive rebound to put them back in the game. It's like, what? Scotty's doing this? So for me, that game was by far game of the year. Obviously, there's other debates, but for me, that triple OT Miami was like, okay, the Raptors are serious.
My favorite stat from that game, you listing the minutes, is that Fred played the least minutes of the 5 starters with 54 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was a light night for Fred.
That was a wild moment in the season where Nick was riding a 6-man rotation.
He was doing that for 2 weeks. Yeah.
That wasn't even rotating. You know when you like hit a Spotify playlist and you hit like just lock, just on the repeat, you just want to hear the album over and over again? That was Nick Nurse.
Yeah, so that game, the Raptors came in 23-23. Since that game, they're 24-10. So that is really
coach the team.
Yeah, that's really the starting point of them making this push from a fringe play-in team to now the number 5 seed, and everything that you said. You know, that has to be the most memorable game of the year. Will Lou?
Yeah,
I believe.
Okay,
you're up.
So before I take the pick, I have to wonder. So why can't we draft Scotty?
You can take that.
Being picked. I don't know why Libaan didn't take him, because I was so disappointed. Yeah, my number 1 moment of the season is going to be Fred VanVleet in that draft special with the poker face on when it was revealed that the Raptors would not be taken. I think it was like, I don't know, something with the lottery, but Raptors at the 7th pick, it wasn't going to be us. It was like, oh, we had jumped into the top 4, and that like. So the NBA went to a commercial break at that point, and everybody on the timeline was so hyped. Like, for those 2 minutes while those ads were showing, everyone was going nuts because it looked like the Raptors might actually win the lottery. They ended up coming back from the break. They're like, okay, so turns out, surprise, Raptors going to take 4. And people were like slightly disappointed. But Fred VanVleet's poker face during that stretch, because that was, you have to remember, the Raptors did tank last season, but they tanked halfway through this season. So they weren't the 4th worst team in the league last year. They actually moved up in the draft, and that they moved up just enough to take Scotty Barnes. That's like one of the most pivotal moments in franchise history, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't going to take that because I thought we were sticking to regular season.
Nah,
you're cheating here,
you
man.
fumbled, man. It's okay. You fumbled.
Will's the host, man. He can make the rules as he goes.
Nah, you just took Bargnani first overall, but it's all good. All right, let's go.
So,
Alex, who you got?
Yeah, so I'm up. So in honor of, Masai and Bobby in the Raptors front office, zigging when people are zagging and making unorthodox picks. I'm gonna go pretty wild with this entire draft. My first pick is Gary Trent Jr. wearing his reversible cardigan in Milwaukee. And the key point to note, too, is, the Raptors won that game with Gary on the bench. He showed up. He's wearing nothing underneath. And the wildest thing for me is he flipped the cardigan at halftime.
Yeah.
And was wearing the other side of it.
Yeah.
So while Nick Nurse was going over schemes with the rest of the players, Gary's in the locker room changing into the same cardigan but different. So just picture that scene. Open gym, release the footage, please. That is my number one pick.
Yeah, because that was funny because the Raptors, I think, gave up 77 points in that first half. Remember? DeMarcus Cousins was dunking on us.
Was this when Bobby Portis was talking trash?
Yeah, he was like looking at Pascal Siakam, trying to bump him, trying to do all this other stuff. And, Cousins was dominating. By the way, that was the game right after the game. Cousins got cut.
They waived him.
They got him right after the game. I was like, this guy's a Gerald Henderson Award winner. But
what Ubuntu is this, man?
No, that was not Ubuntu at that point. But yeah, as you mentioned, in that intense game on the road, Gary Trent Jr. is flipping his cardigan around.
Yeah. No, I'm going off the board with every pick today. So you guys enjoy your games and players.
Yeah. And Pascal came clutch in that game, too. And they took the triple-double away from him. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because he's putting them up every night now.
Mm.